It's some business news this morning. Shares in Microsoft has slumped hard overnight with its loss of value close to an all-time record, about 400 billion US. The US stock market, surprisingly, has held up okay in the face of this onslaught, but the wealth of two of Australia's richest people took a big hit. Let's bring in Ross Greenwood. Ross, good morning to you.
Good morning.
The US markets have just closed. How did Microsoft finish up?
Not real good. I've got to tell you, this is a car crash. Have a look at this. $400 billion wiped off the value of Microsoft shares overnight. The shares still trading down more than 10%. At one stage, they were down 12%. That's where that $400 billion US basically comes from. And that really would cover about the top 6 or 7 companies in Australia, just the loss overnight in Microsoft shares. Now, normally if something like that happens, you'd imagine the rest of the tech sector would go as well. It didn't, though, and we can show you this because it's effectively a whole bunch of other shares reporting quarterly earnings which go to the end of last year. But the real concern now is the amount of money they're spending on the rollout of artificial intelligence. And as a result, also in the giant data centres they're building. And it's this concern over their capital spend which really has caught up with Microsoft in particular. But there's another stock out there which did much better, and that is Meta, which is the owner of Instagram and Facebook. And I think we've got a few shares that we can show you here, some of those that did better and not so well. And so, for example, if we look through the Dow Jones index, it was off a little bit during the course of the night, but it has actually turned around at the end and up 0.1%. If we have a look at some of the stocks there as well, you'll see that Meta was much, much stronger, up by almost, at the end, 10%. You can see Salesforce got hammered down 6%, IBM up by 4.6%. So depending on the sort of way in which they basically produced those results, really ultimately had the determination on the stock price at the end of trading.
You'd have to think a company like Microsoft would be all right in the long run, though. I wonder if it's getting into buy zone there.
We might be having a little chat about that in just a moment as well. But you're right. Some of these stocks, when they do fall as aggressively as they do, you got to sit there and look at the very long term. And the one thing I'll tell you about this is the Australian dollar. So we've got a chart of the Aussie dollar here to show you, and that is basically being able to show you exactly where the dollar has gone. Because a lot of people, with the big fall in the Aussie, or big rise in the Aussie dollar, which has now gone to nearly 4-year highs against the US currency, it touched 70.9 US cents. We haven't got it there at the moment, unfortunately. It's now at zero. That's not a good sign, is it? But I can tell you, it basically is sitting around 70.5 US cents right now. It reached 70.9, and that is the highest level in more than 3 years. And so, as a result, travelling, buying goods overseas, all of these things, here it is. And this is the dollar over the past year, which is up nearly 14% against the US dollar. Against the Japanese yen, it's even better. It's at 34-year highs against the Japanese yen, sitting at 107 Japanese yen. And so really, again, this is, the opportunity for Aussies right now to travel, to buy things, to buy Microsoft shares, if you are game after
So there's another wave of travellers heading to Huckabah now.
Huckabah, indeed. They are going to Huckabah.
OK, let's go to some of the Aussie rich listers who've taken a big hit overnight.
Big bath for this. And so this is effectively Mike Cannon-Brookes and Scott Farquhar. Atlassian shares have bombed out on the stock market overnight. We can show you a little bit of this. They both own about 20% of the company. And so Atlassian shares down more than 10% last night. And if we go out a little bit further, what you can see is over the course of the past year, Atlassian shares are down by 56%. Now, given the fact that I worked out that each of them have got effectively have taken about a haircut last night of about 500 or 600 million Aussie dollars. It could be actually US dollars, but over the course of the past year, the losses that they have mounted on paper, let's be honest here, and really, given the fact they started with zero, everything over a couple of billion is, sort of gravy, but they are down quite a few $1 billion each of them in the past 12 months. So, as I say, it's just interesting to see this. But tech shares, and again, that's about AI, and really the market's worrying whether Atlassian has got a future in this artificial intelligence
You've got a great way with words, as always, Ross. I do want to ask you about gold, because, I remember last year folks were saying, surely it's hit its ceiling.
Yeah.
But look, it's gone up another
one. Well, hang on. It was only, Monday this week, Tuesday this week, gold goes through, 5,000 US big headlines, right? It never was going to go through 5,000.
Yeah.
Have a look at it now, and just have a look at where it's gone to overnight. We'll show you the gold price 5,395.
nearly 5.5
By the
nearly.
way, that's off. That's down. It was 5,500.
Yeah.
At one
so
stage.
It's
so
knocking
that's
on
10% in 4 or 5 days this
No,
week.
it's amazing.
It is incredible.
And
that's
silver's
because
gone up too.
Silver has gone even faster than gold.
Yeah.
And so the interesting thing about gold and silver is they are the proxy for the US dollar. US dollar falling, which is why our dollar is going stronger. Donald Trump wants a lower US currency because it means trade into the US is much, much better. So that's the reason for it. So gold, crypto, so Bitcoin, and also silver prices have gone nuts. The funny thing we saw at the start of the week when this all happened, here's the silver price. Have a look at that. That's just absolutely gone 100% plus over the past year.
My mum's had some silver for 30 or 40
What,
years.
you mean the old knives and forks?
Yeah, no, she's got these, and it just wasn't moving for ages. So she'd written it off. But all of a sudden, she's looking at this, going, "Hey, what's happening here?
Do you know
this might be worth something."
So I was at the ABC Bullion Company in Martin Place the other day.
Yeah.
There are queues 100 metres long outside there. People just wanting to trade and buy. So we even did some vox pops and chatted to some of the people the other day. It's just astonishing. Every theory in the world is coming out of those people.